part of what we're doing. Everybody has a way to contribute and make this place a better place every day. We're really trying to make this a very kind place. We're trying to make a culture where people treat each other correctly. And it's really important to us that we challenge every student academically and that we find the right spot for every student where they need to be, that's appropriate for their needs. This is going to be the team that you're going to be hearing from a lot. They will be working with all the freshmen, incoming freshmen next year. And again, you'll be hearing from them in just a few minutes. And as I mentioned a second ago, we have really want to stress getting involved. You'll hear later about an opportunity this summer to come in and have an orientation with our Link crew, which does amazing work with students. And there literally is something for everybody here. We want to make sure that, again, we're stressing that. Find something to get involved in. All the evidence shows that the more involved you are in school, the better experience it is. And I think most seniors would tell you that 4 years absolutely flies by. But when you're in ninth grade, I remember when I was in ninth grade very well, it seemed like it was going to be a decade, and it seemed like it would take forever. It's not. I can't believe this year's already half over, for example. It's going to fly by, and pretty soon you're going to have a senior here, and it's going to be 2024 before you know it, that spring. So again, keep that in mind. Get involved. Be part of what we're doing. Let's make kids have a better place every day by what we do. I am going to turn the mic over here. If I can skip forward by once, all right. But anyway, nice talking to you. I will be around for questions when you're done if you have any questions. Thank you guys very much.
Good evening. Okay, just by show of hands, where are my SKHS alumni? Okay. Oh, Wolves. I was talking to, I'm Tammy Lestername, by the way. I am the Dean of Students for the class of 2024. We'll be starting all over here. We'll be with your students, the 4 of us, amazing team members, will be with your students for the next 4 years, which is pretty cool. But I was talking earlier about just the dynamics of coming from individual middle schools, filtering into one big, ginormous high school. So we're all together as SK Wolves now. So it really helps with our SK alumni to know who you are to help these kids transition to this ginormous school. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about career and college readiness. So you're thinking, we're here for freshman night, like we haven't even started our freshman year yet, and we're already talking about college and career ready. Why is that so important? So somewhere between June 9th-ish, 11-ish, somewhere in there of 2024, your student will be walking across the stage in the Tacoma Dome and graduating from high school. Right? Right, students? Pretty exciting, right? Okay. The freshman year is one of the single most important predictors of graduating on time. Graduating from high school on time is one of the most important things, milestones in the next 4 years, okay? And so we're going for that 100% graduation rate. So now you don't have to normally or necessarily know exactly what you want to do, the career you're going to go, the college you're going to go to, that you're going to have a house and a white picket fence and a Ferrari and 14 kids. However, it is not too early to start thinking about your college and career. So, some things to help you out with that. So our Redefining Ready website, www.redefiningready, there's some indicators on there, which I'll go over here in a second, that is a pretty good predictor of things that you can put yourself in a good place to graduate on time from high school. Okay? So, lots of opportunities here, which Ms. Rudoots is going to talk about in a second. These are some of the college career readiness things. So you've identified a career interest. You want to be a doctor, you want to be an astronaut, you want to be a lawyer, you want to work at PSNS, some type of career interest, okay? 90% attendance, 2 or more organized co-curricular activities, clubs, sports, like Mr. Goodwin said, get yourselves involved in those things. Dual credit career pathway courses, we have some amazing CTE opportunities here, Running Start, things like that, that you can put together and customize your high school education that would prepare you for college and your career. Okay? 25 hours of community service is actually not a graduation requirement, but something that we highly encourage, especially to start getting your experience towards your career that you want to become involved in. 2.8 GPA, advanced placement classes, advanced placement exams, so you would go in advanced placement class, AP classes, then obviously you would take an AP exam. It prepares you for the next level, especially the college level. Algebra 2, earning an A, B, or C, your SAT, math, reading, writing scores, as well as your ACT, English, reading, and math scores there, okay? We have a really cool opportunity to take the PSAT in October of your freshman year that can start to give you some ideas of how well you're performing on those tests that will then prepare you for the SAT test, okay? So, this is going to be Miss Goetz here in a second. So one last thing. One of the biggest things with the freshman year, as far as engagement and mentorship and that kind of thing, is find a place to connect. We have some amazing opportunities here for kids. You might have met some of our Link Crew kids out in the Commons, but make the connections. It seems like it's so big and there's so many people, but I think we do an amazing job on this team to make those connections with your kids. Any questions, any comments, any concerns, email us, don't hesitate, and stay involved, stay connected with your student as well as our team. Have a good night. Jennifer Goetz, counselor for LPG. Sorry, I can't stand in one place for very long. So I'm Jana Vergoots. I have the second half of the alphabet, L through Z. My partner Dave Lafano and I will be with your students through graduation. So you guys for 4 years, for better or for worse. One of the things that I wanted to point out tonight to you is that you've got this catalog. And this catalog, we've always said, is about the size of community college as far as what it offers. I think it goes beyond our local community colleges because we actually offer programs here that students couldn't take in a community college. One of those programs that I think is fantastic is our vet apprenticeship program. Our kids in this building, because of its size, have so many opportunities to take advantage of. So we really encourage you in the next couple weeks to sit down and look at this catalog with your students to see what classes that are there, what are some things that they're interested in, and get them to really try and sign up for those as electives, because when we go into register for classes, they're going to actually have 3 and 4 electives per term. So this is a time to really explore that. I know some people say, well, I want to be a veterinarian. I'm going to take all these classes, and as soon as they get into the vet science program and realize they have to cut into an animal, they say, I can't do that. So this is the chance to try things out and to have them try as many things that they're interested in if all possible. And so when you look through the catalog, you're going to see everything that's available to them. Take a look at anything that says Tech Prep Credit or Dual Credit. That means if your student gets a B or better in those classes, they can get college credit for free for classes that they're taking in high school. All they need to do is tell their teacher at the beginning of the term, I'm taking this class for credit, and then they document that, and then they send it in, and your student will get a college transcript. So it's a pretty awesome thing. Get out of high school. I haven't gone through any special program other than taking my classes in high school, and I get college credit. Thank you. West Sound Technical Program is a program at with Bremerton School District that we partner with. It is not available until the junior year, but I want to mention it tonight because a lot of our students will choose to go through the West Sound program for a specific program like criminal justice or culinary arts or automotive. It will take half of their schedule. So 4 of their 8 classes, their junior year or senior year, will go to West Sound Tech. In order to prepare for that, they should get some of the required electives taken care of their freshman or sophomore year. Like PE, they'll need 2 years of PE and or health, and art, they have 2 years of art.
Those classes are very difficult to then schedule in the junior and senior year if half of their schedule is in another building. So just something to think about when you're talking about building the schedule with them. If they're thinking they're interested in West Sound Tech, to just prepare for that. Did I do that or did you do that? Yay. Advanced placement courses. Advanced placement courses are advanced placement, higher rigor courses, where the student can opt to take a test at the end of the course, and if they test high enough on the exam, if their scores are 3 or higher, they can earn college credit. Just so you know, there's no set score, and there's no set determination on how a college determines how much credit they get. It varies from college to college. But they take the test, they pay for the test, and if they score high enough, they could potentially earn college credit for that. We offer the AP Capstone Diploma Program, which gives a student an opportunity to get that AP diploma and extra college credit. There is a requirement that they take the seminar class in their junior year and the research class in their senior year. And then they have to take at least 3 other AP classes and score 3 or better on those AP tests in order to get that diploma. But it's another different academic program that students can pursue here. And then there's Running Start, and we're not going to talk much about Running Start tonight, except that if you know or your student knows that they want to pursue Running Start their junior year or senior year, that they too should take care of some of the electives like PE and art, because those are the 2 that we as senior and junior counselors have found are the hardest classes to schedule at the community college, because they are offered at some of the more awkward times. So if your student knows they want to do Running Start, take care of those electives, the art and the PE, please. I am super excited that we have this class because we plan to utilize the Freshman Success as a way to really get in your students' faces during their freshman year to make sure they're staying on track and doing everything they need to be successful. Freshman Success is not a study skills class, but it's a class that helps them develop better study skills. It will be a class where they explore their high school and beyond plan, which is a graduation requirement. It will be a class where they get to work in small teams to get help in certain subject areas that they have in common. They'll have one-on-one tension a lot of times with their Freshman Success instructor. I wish that I had had this class in high school. And then I wish I'd had this class in college, because it helps you just kind of be organized, and we're hoping that it will help us be better communicators with our students. And speaking of communication, a person that your student is going to hear a lot from in the next 4 years is Mr. Dave Reichel, Career Counselor Extraordinaire.
You guys can't see, can you? You're okay? Okay. I'll stand over here. So, hi, I'm Dave Reichel. I'm the career counselor here. It's my job to help all you guys, all you 8th graders, figure out what you're going to do after you graduate. And we do it through a lot of really cool things. I want to repeat one thing that was said over here a little while ago. Studies show that parents tend to check out when their kids get into high school and they're not involved in their education anymore, and that is a big mistake. Don't do that. Keep after their grades, look in their backpack, find out how they're doing, call their counselor, call their teacher. It is very important. A lot of things are riding on their grades, and the better the grades, the more choices they'll have after they graduate. So the Career Center is an amazing place. It's not very big, but myself and my assistant Sandy Elton, we do a lot of different things in there. We help them write resumes and job search. We're the liaison for the shipyard in Boeing. And just real quick, someone said this, you're lucky to be going here, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Okay? Yeah, the school's kind of old. I won't say anything about the bond, but like Mr. Good said, where else could you go in Kitsap County or on the peninsula to take vet science? There is no other place. It's here. If you wanted to take auto shop at a high school for one of the best auto shop instructors in Washington State, would you go to CK High? No, because they don't have it, but we do, right? Yeah, this is a great school with tremendous opportunities. for all of you guys. You could take wood shop here, and then you could follow up with auto shop, veterinary science, culinary arts, all of those things, but a lot of high schools simply don't have anymore. One of the cool things is we're connected with Boeing because of the classes we teach. Boeing routinely comes and recruits seniors here every year. And students are leaving to start at jobs at 18 bucks an hour working for Boeing as a high school graduate. We're also PSNS liaison. We coordinate the work study position. If you don't know what that is, as a junior, you can go work at the shipyard and be a federal employee as a high school student. Nowhere else in North America that I know of can you do that, but in Kitsap County. So we help with that. We help helpers get in, as seniors graduate, get in their foot in the entry-level position at the shipyard. We're the liaison for the Environmental Services, and we offer the ASVAB. We coordinate that. If your student is interested in that, it's the right thing for the right person at the right time. We'll help you connect with the recruiters and get them signed up for the ASVAB. Or if they're interested in starting at a service academy, we'll get them connected with that too. We'll help them do career research if they really don't know what they want to do. We'll be glad to help them narrow it down. Mr. Goots also mentioned dual credit for high school classes. So just for some examples, photography, video production, computer-aided drafting, and child development, if they take those classes and get a B or better, they'll have an OC transcript with that credit on there. One of our big jobs is we do a lot of financial aid guidance. We'll help you complete the FAFSA or the WASFA. We'll help with scholarships and help you apply for them. Millions of dollars flow through the Career Center every year, and we want to make sure your kid gets a portion of that. We'll do field trips to colleges and employers. We go to all over the place, and we just want to emphasize, no matter what your kid wants to do, it will be valued here, as long as it's legal. And so, yeah, a lot of times you'll get the vibe, hey, if you're going to a four-year college, great, but if you're not, well, you're settling for second best. That is not true here. That is not true. That, I think, is a lot of baloney, and we have 6 to 10 million vacant construction jobs in North America because of that mentality has failed us, I think. So anyway, as that, we coordinate the AccuPlacer testing for students interested in going to a community or technical college. And Mrs. Elton's scholarship coordinator does a tremendous job with that. Oh yeah, if you want to be one of the cool families, you too can follow the Career Center on Instagram or Twitter, or make sure you get on the South Kitsap High School Parents Facebook page. Everything we're doing is on those 3 social media outlets, because you know why? Yeah, kids don't come home and tell you what's going on. I have a 25-year-old and a 20-year-old. Hey, Mom, guess what? I've got to have this big thing for tomorrow. Who's heard that as a parent? My gosh. Yeah, it makes you go crazy. And anyway, so we want to communicate directly with you, take them out of the communications loop, and make sure your kids don't miss out on some tremendous opportunities. Lots of cool stuff happens here, and we want you guys to take advantage of it. And it's nice meeting you all. If you have any questions, I'll be around afterwards.
Welcome everybody. My name is Dave Bufano, and I have my alpha, my caseload is A through K. And I gotta tell you, I don't have a rich longevity and historical connection to South Kitsap High School as my colleagues do. I cannot believe the number of my colleagues that have gone to high school here. I don't have that to say. But what I will say is I've worked in 4 high schools across the United States, and I have never seen such variety and opportunities given to kids as here. All the things you just previously heard about the different avenues and career directions that a student can go in is just amazing. I mean, all of the CTE classes and the connections that kids could have based upon those classes once they graduate, with all of the businesses and corporations that are in this area. it's extraordinary. As well as the 2-year college pursuit, 4-year universities. And that brings to mind, I'm gonna bring in a little balance here because I heard Dave, our principal, talk about getting involved and the importance of that. I'm gonna add a little balance to that because in the freshman year, I don't want you to all feel stressed that you gotta be involved in 50,000 different things. You don't have to do that. It's a year to explore. Find your passion. Once you find it, get committed to it. You know, that includes clubs, activities, sports, extracurriculars, volunteer work, outside of school, inside of school. You know, find your spot and then do them and do them well. That's the important thing. One of the biggest questions I had tonight from people out on the green out there was, what do I need to do? Where's my son or daughter need to do to graduate? And here's a slide on the requirements for graduation. So there's you have to have 4 credits of English throughout the 4 years. You have to have 3 years of math, must reach advanced algebra level. Social studies is 3 credits. Traditionally, well, I'll get to a freshman slide and I'll explain a little bit more on that. Science, 3 credits, with 2 must be a lab. Health, half a credit. Physical education, 2 classes worth a half a credit each, as well as a swim class worth a half a credit. The career, at least 1 credit. Arts, 2. World languages, 2, and general electives, 10, totaling 30. There's 2 asterisks by the arts and world languages. We can do like you know, we talk about all these options that kids have, all the different directions that you can go in through high school. At some point, and you may already be at that point where you know what you want to do. But that decision kind of evolves over time. And if a university is something that you really want to go to, then languages are important. Most universities will want at least 2 years of a language. More competitive universities are going to want, obviously, maybe 3 or even 4. So it's up to the student to determine how competitive they want to put themselves in. Same thing with the arts. What we can do is, let's say you're not driven toward a university, or you want to go to a community college where they don't require a world language or arts. We can incorporate into the student's plan what's called a personalized pathway. So I, Mrs. Vergoots, would sit down with the student and determine what kind of a career are you thinking about. And once that's identified, we could then identify a couple classes that they've taken or are planning to take in high school that have a relationship with that career. And that's what gives us the justification to waive the world languages as a whole, or waive a year of it. But the bottom line is, they don't have to have 2 years of world languages, 2 credits. And the same thing in the arts. Additional requirements are they have to have Washington State history, state SBAC testing in English, science, and math, and high school and beyond plan, which is a electronic planner that they use every year that helps get them perspective on where they're at, where they need to be, and how to get there. So we're getting more specific on the freshman requirements coming up. This is what the schedule should have. It should have English on the registration, a math course. Social studies is optional in the freshman year, because in the sophomore year there is no social studies required. But remember on the previous slide, 3 credits of social studies are required to graduate. So what I recommend, and I think Mrs. Vergoots, you probably agree with this, in the first year, world history is probably a good selection, even though you don't have to do it. Because once you get into the second year, your eyes are starting to open up as far as what are some real attractive electives you'd like to get into, and you don't want to take that up maybe with a social studies class. So we would recommend a world history there. in freshman year. Also a science course, a gym course paired with health, freshman success or avid, and art and an elective. Earlier I mentioned about balance. Very important that you guys as parents are a major part of this. Students, you're not the only one planning this out. It's a team effort. So make sure that as you schedule your classes that you're discussing balance, you know, thinking about your future, what direction you want to go in. You know, say you're thinking at this point, well, maybe I don't want to attend a university, so I'm not going to take language. So you don't take language the first year. You still got 3 more years. You might change your mind at that point. So you got the time to do it. All right, next week, Jana and I are going to be visiting all the middle schools, and we're going to be assisting in providing kind of a talk the way we're talking now, but getting more specific about the registration process. And we're going to be visiting John Sedgwick on Wednesday, February 19th, Marcus Whitman, Thursday, February 20th, Cedar Heights, February 21st. So we're going to give you guys a week to review that registration, discuss it as a family, and then we're going to go back and visit and help them to electronically put the classes in the software based on your input of what's on that registration card. And those dates we're going to visit are March 2nd, March 3rd, and March 4th. And now I'm going to pass it off to Frida Evans, our assistant principal for the freshman class.
Thank you again for being here tonight. It's warm, I understand that. We've got a few more slides and we should be out of here very shortly. So, last couple of things, go the right way, how about that? You don't want to see it again, didn't think so. So, we look at it. This, by the way, this is all going to be online tonight. As of right now, I'm watching you, it's warm, some of you guys have had dinner, some of you are starting to yawn and fade quickly. So, we will make sure that this is online for you guys to go back and peruse through and look at. Some of you guys are recording it, and that's wonderful too, but it's going to be there for you. As we look at it, the big takeaways from tonight, if you guys are looking for what you truly need to do for preparation for next year, big key things, students, you guys need to understand you're going to have a little bit more homework. Okay, we go from 6 classes to now 8 classes. We do put the freshman success in there and helps you out a little bit, but there will be maybe an extra novel, an extra essay, a little bit more homework. So be prepared for that. Put the mental wrap on it. Okay, study habits are going to be huge. Really the most important indicator is being present at school. Students who are here 90% of the time fare significantly better than those who are not. And we realize stuff happens and things come in the way. You can't always be here every single day. Communicate, talk to your teachers, let us know that you're not going to be here so that way when you do come back, you're ready to go with what you left off with. Okay, so that's going to be the biggest thing is the attendance part of it. GPA, that kind of stuff is huge, but really making good choices after that. So I'm going to say attendance is huge, making good choices is going to be number 2. Okay, as I tell my kids, and I've got a 6th grader and a 4th grader, was it a good choice or a bad choice? That same philosophy still applies to the freshmen that I talk to in my office next year. Was it a good choice or a bad choice? Okay. Parents, I'm going to give you a piece of advice, parents. This one here, and I'm not trying to get, I'm not preachy, but just give you a heads up. How many of you guys have a love-hate relationship with your email? Okay. Do me a favor, create an email for just your child's school account stuff. Okay, I look at my email all day. The last thing that I want to do when I get home is look at another email. That's the way a majority of our teachers are going to communicate with you. So if you're like me and you don't want to read your email and then you wonder why 2 weeks later you haven't heard from somebody, but then you go back to your emails and go, oh, you emailed me 2 weeks ago. Make one just for the kids' email, so that way when our teachers do a reach out, where we do have questions for you, then it's just going to go to one place. Put it in your head, you check it once a night, nothing new there, good, go to bed. Okay, but that way you're not trying to sort through all the spam stuff in your Yahoo and everything else, your Old Navy account, whatever. Just make one for SKHS and there we go. Okay, huge piece there for you. We do reach outs in the fall and the spring. bedtime habits, attendance, and if you can take their phone and just put it someplace safe between the hours of 7:25 and 2 o'clock, that would really make all of our lives so much easier. So students, you heard that. It's 2-1. Please, I will tell you, Miss Lester, of all of our disciplines type stuff, what percentage of it has to do with social media? About 300% has to do with social media. So please monitor that, look through it, figure out what's going on, okay? And just help us help you to help them. What's going on inside that device. We buy them this thing and say, here's China, go have fun. Good luck, okay? So please, on that end of it. All right. As far as the connected aspect of it goes, we are really excited, and I would like to click here so you guys can see our incoming newsletter. There's a picture of Yoda on it. I'm really excited. So when you guys go check out the newsletter, Yoda is there, and Ms. Vergoots is really happy about that, and I was a little giddy myself. But all of this stuff are tools that you guys can use to stay connected to us. You guys will get a newsletter from us in June as we get all of your access to your students' emails, or to your emails, the one that you just created only for school stuff. We will send out a newsletter for you guys so you have that, and everything that you could want to know about the incoming freshman year is going to be there. So use these things skyward, website, Facebook. We have an SKHS Facebook page. Please log in and join us, okay? I'm really excited for you guys. PTA, if you guys want to be part of the PTA, like Mr. Reichel said, a lot of people just kind of, they get to high school and we don't know where the parents go. We have a PTA night and there's 5 parents that show up. There are more than 5 parents in this room. So please come hang out with us, get the information, talk to us. What do you guys say that have concerns? Get in touch with Eric Gent. He'd be more than happy to kind of rope people in and get participation. Really excited about this one. This one is huge for you guys. The dates are there, and those will come out in June as well. But we do offer an orientation for all of our freshmen, okay? Freshmen A through K will come in on the 27th of August, and freshmen L through Z will come in on the 28th of August. We bring them into the gym, we do an awesome rally, we kind of get them hyped up. We then divide into groups of 10, and we send them out into the building with a junior or a senior. And they do a tour. They'll get their picture for their ID. They'll get their books. They'll get their schedules. They'll get lockers. They'll get a tour of the campus. So they really kind of get a sense of ownership and feeling of home for this area as well. So I encourage you guys, put this in the calendar now. It's not going to change. And we would like to sit them here, and I said we'll get you more communication as this comes nearer to us. All right? That is all we have for you tonight. I would take